I believe that's our society. That's how we formed our society. That's how we have chosen to react to issues, to treat issues with a lot of casualty, with a lot of I don't care attitude. It's a matter of what our society has evolved into.
But then you find that because we do not have values, then society defines us, and society defines what is man enough and what is not. It is society that has defined this for us. And because we have not inculcated the right value system in our generation, in our youth as they grow up, then we are breeding monsters.
Welcome. My name is Likuyani Eli, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Men's Den. Every single Tuesday from 9:30 p.m. East African time, 8:30 p.m. Central European time, and we are right on time to bring you the Men's Den. You can share and be part of the conversation through the comment section. Tonight's topic is quite interesting, so I'm inviting you to be part of the conversation. But first things first, we have one Gilbert Makomere, all the way in Oklahoma, USA. Good afternoon, Gilbert.
Good afternoon, Ellie, and good evening to our viewers back in East Africa and those who have tuned to listen and watch us from around the globe. Thank you for having me, Ellie.
I mean, it's a pleasure always having you in the Men's Den. And tonight we have quite a twist. James decided he was not fit enough to be in this Men's Den. So we have a very serious Pan-Africanist man who will not just be bringing his view to this discussion, but equally be helping us to transact as we talk about the topics tonight. So none other than Matasio Kagwa, all the way in Holland. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. Yes, it's a very interesting topic. So here we go. I'm ready to engage, and I hope I will not have very bad messages after this. Thank you very much to be on this program.
You know what, just be prepared, because here we come, we do what we have to do, and life must continue, because these are conversations that we need to have at the end of the day. Remember, Indeed. This is the Men's Den. You can follow us on Facebook Live and equally on YouTube. The handle is The Arts in Heart Official on YouTube and The Arts in Heart on Facebook. Now, gentlemen, we are talking about I'm taking time to introduce the topic. This is rather unusual. This is rather unusual, but let's not beat about the bush. You know, word has it that Bibi Mdogo culture among the Kenyan society and Africa at large is a common practice, if not phenomenon. So, therefore, they are looked as the ones that sustain those unstable relationships or marriages, for that matter. So are these women by any chance judged too much, or are they actually the one that play a big role in the building of the man's empire? This is a question that we seek to address tonight. Gentlemen, where do you want us to speak it from? Matasio, being a Pan-Africanist, what do you think about this?
I think it's a very, very, very wrong choice to make me open this, because first of all, yeah, it is happening. I don't know what you want me to say about it, but first of all, this is a very clear sign that morally, socially, family-wise, we are on a very, very, very wrong train. Clearly, it's a very, very wrong train. Why do I say it's a very wrong train? First of all, Bibi Mdogo, small wife. We don't have that in our African culture. First of all, as a Pan-Africanist, you have to understand that polygamy has never been illegal in Africa. And I remind you, it's only last year that the president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, put it actually into the constitution. Why am I saying we are on the wrong track? We are living in denial. Hakuna Bibi Mdogo There is always first wife, second wife, third wife, fifth wife, if you want. There is always stepmother, stepfather, whatever it is. So let us just get straight. My opinion is this thing of Bibi Mdogo, Mpango ya Kando, all that is really wrong, on the wrong track. Now, why are we on the wrong track? Simple. I think we are on the wrong track because we are easily brainwashed, especially Kenyans. We always run to something outside. If somebody came and say that marrying chicken is fashionable, Kenyans will be running to marry chicken. They won't ask twice. Now, that is also one thing. Being brainwashed is a very important issue that makes us think, oh, something like a single mother. Single mother is not an identity. Single mother is just, actually, for me, it is, a half-baked title. So that's one, being brainwashed. The second, I think it is also because of poverty. In the sense that a lot of our young women have seen men as financial support, which is not bad thing, which is part of the package. But you cannot only look at it like I'm looking for a man with money. Then later on, you find out, oh, this man cannot have babies or things like that. So at the end of the day, the problem is you're on the wrong track because of those two. Being brainwashed, first of all, and poverty. I think that's where I can start. I can't hear you.
My apologies for that, gentlemen. That's quite an opening you have there, Matasio, and thank you so much for opening the ground bare. Gilbert, tonight is your night. I think you have such a uphill task. What do you say on back of these words?
I think Kagwa has put words where they belong. First of all, I would like to echo what he said, that we try our level best not to be authentic, because growing up, I've seen these things happening. I don't know why we rush to put it into law. It's been there. I've grown up knowing people marry one or two or three wives based on what they believe in, because we should not be forced. Because there are people who are traditionalists. They believe one or two, it's better to them. That's their belief. There are people who are religious, Muslims, up to 3 allowed, Christians, only 1. So it depends with what you believe in. It's only that we are, the way Kagwe has put it, we run to the West to copy a lot before we implement it at home. And then we want to live in denial, trying to hide from reality. They exist, you have them, you are with them, instead of just coming out and stating clearly that I have more than one. You want to pretend to be having one so that the society looks at you differently. Yet you know very well there is more than one around you. If you are financing them, you're doing everything for them as a husband, but you've just refused to call them your wife, simply because the society will view in a different perspective. So I think it's a total thing around this discussion, just depending that which route will we take when we're trying to discuss the topic.
Interesting, gentlemen. And the other side of this discussion is actually, as you see, the topic is kingdom makers. Are they part and parcel of making of a kingdom, or are they breakers of the kingdom? Matasio.
My message, I insist they are kingdom breakers. For sure.
But you just said one thing the other minute, and now you're saying something totally different. Or what are you trying to
It's the same
put
thing.
across?
I mean, the thing is, it is happening. We are brainwashed. We think it's the right thing. We think they're kingdom makers, but they're kingdom breakers.
Hello. Kindly educate me on this.
Now, for example, a kingdom, if you talk about a kingdom, as I said before, you will have a polygamous kingdom or a monogamous kingdom. True or false?
Quite true.
The women who choose to be second wives, they don't start with Mpango Akando. Traditionally, they never started in mpango wa kando. First of all, we have to understand in which capacity, as a true African, have you been able to, let's say, as an African woman, under what circumstances has it been okay to share a husband? You understand?
Give me that.
For example, let's not talk about being rich, you can marry 3 wives. We are talking about the reason of family. The reason of family is bearing children. In all our African traditions, when a man cannot produce children, say barren, it is always in every culture within the family, somebody may be introduced secretly, privately, socially, so that this man can still run a family. Talk about surrogate mothers, things like that. The same also when a woman cannot get children, there is a way that another man is called to perform a sperm donor in one way or the other. Now, this ones is when you need this kind of ladies to build a kingdom, because this kingdom is maybe having a weakness of sperms. Then it's a kingdom maker. But a man has got enough sperms, a man has got enough money, a man is looking good enough, he's strong enough. He can build a kingdom with one woman. Why the second one?
Okay. Gilbert, this guy is just turning me upside down. I cannot follow no more. Why the second one?
I love it. He said he can, not he should, because it's choice. You choose to be with one or many based on how you're endowed. If you can manage more than one, Ellie, well and good. No one can choose it for you. So the best thing will say, if it's a personal choice, no one can dictate to you how to marry, Ellie. Apart from if it's alone the ground, there are countries you only marry one, you can't marry two. If you're marrying two, you leave the other one and marry the other one. So you divorce for you to marry the second one. It cannot allow. But there are people, based on our culture, like at home, there are people who are marrying more than one and they are comfortable living together. If God has given you that ability, just like Solomon, do it. That if you don't have, the problem comes here really when we lie to ourselves. That's where the problem comes in. When we lie to ourselves, you have someone on the side, you don't want to recognize them, your family doesn't know they exist, but deep down they know they exist. Because when you lapse coming at home and they don't know where you are and you are trying to be smart about it and you disappear, you have all excuses, you can be crafty, but you cannot last. So the problem, the kingdom breakers comes in when it's not defined and it's not clear. If you are having ni mpango wa kando ama ni bibi wa pili ama ni, you see, when you don't define, that's why we are trying our level best to put it in law in Kenya, so that is clearly defined. You don't live with someone like 20 years, but they don't have a sense of identity on you. They are always living incognito. So whether they are breaking or making, what is their role in making that kingdom? So if you fail to define early, you fail to give them a role. So they might be breaking silently or making silently, but because they have not been defined, they hang in the balance.
Fair enough, Gilbert and Matasia. Matasia, want to add on something?
I want to add on something. He said something of agreeing, remaining a secret. I think it is also what I said about the one part is the poverty. Now the poverty comes in. You see, there is no way you as a woman can join a man because he's got the money, he's got the wealth, and expect you to contribute to building a kingdom. He is already doing well off. So that's the mistake we also make. We also don't know our values. And especially I have to tell this to a lot of my sisters. Men will always choose who brings something on the table. As long as we are also trying to, for example, the idea of trying to say this Bibi Mdogo is adding any value to a kingdom, that we should be very clear there is no value added. This is a profiteer. This is people who want to profit. These are users. These are people who wouldn't even dare stand and sit down and discuss anything, even if I'm a man and having my wife here, and then this Bibi Wakando, even if I'm arrested with a karao out there or I had an accident, this Bibi Mdogo will not even pick the phone and call the doctor. The moment they know you are done, they are gone. So it is also cheating ourselves. It's also the idea of living a fake life, because you cannot enter into a marriage as a second wife or a mpango wakando or a secret lover, and then later you want to be identified as a legal wife. Sasa unakufa, then somebody comes there with children. Yeah, I want to bury them. Nobody saw you. You agreed I'm going to be in the shadows. Why do you want to come in the sunlight now? There was no agreement of sunlight. That's when you break a kingdom.
Wow. That's when the kingdom gets broken. Let's get to the comment section, and then let's have this conversation as we continue, gentlemen. Everybody that is joining, good evening once again. We are having a very heated discussion here, and we are asking you, are they the kingdom makers, or are they just the kingdom breakers? And so far so good. Matasio seems to be having a different opinion about it. Same to Gilbert. And we have Julie Mimia who is saying good evening to all of us. And yes, Gaddafi, good evening to you. Anasema leo ni noma sana. #kawa. Na umechange jina yake ni Kagwa. Anaitwa Kagwa. Robert, that is Kipro Ronda says, I agree with you, Gilbert. Gilbert, everybody always agrees with you. I don't know what it is that you tell them, but I think you use the right political language. What's Frederick, on the other hand, good evening, sir, who says, how does a man prove he is impotent? We will come to that. I think that is an important part of the discussion. We have Freedom Kuku who says, the word is kingdom. Whether monogamous or polygamous, it is a kingdom. Noreen who says, Allah. Okay. And yes, every other person that is joining us, good evening to you. Let's keep the conversation going. Nancy Magan says, good evening, gentlemen. Patrick Buhala says, hello, long time, but Nikon Dani. Victor Mutai who says, following you. And we have Miss Jane Mugurenje who says, tuned in. Nyokabi GK Kamau says, good evening, gentlemen. Great conversation going down here. So let's continue with the conversation. Kindly follow and send your comments in the comment section. We have SK Yegan who says, Bibi Mdogo is being married for a reason. Only ours has a good reason for doing. She is a kingdom maker. Fair enough. I'm back. Who missed me? Zena, we miss you all, and Karibu Sana. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section, and you know how we do it. You must be part of the conversation. So, gentlemen, let's take a very quick break, and we come back. We dissect why they are actually not makers but breakers, and if they are makers, they are breakers. What should make them makers then? In the other hand, the men's then returns after.
Hi, my name is Frida Nguku. I'm the founder of Joy McCall Papers and Deco. I'm an interior designer, an entrepreneur, a content creator on YouTube, a mentor, and a singer. At Joy Wallpapers and Deco, we have quality wallpapers, wall mirrors, contact papers, and turf, otherwise known as artificial grass. Our services include interior design, installation, and training for those who are interested in our services. Now, we have varieties of wallpapers with different textures, designs, patterns, and colors to give you your desired look. Currently, we have stocked over 1,000 samples of wallpapers for you to choose from. We have trained installers to ensure flawless finish upon installation. We offer our services countrywide, and we also do delivery. Follow us on social media at Joy Wallpapers and Deco on Facebook and at Joy Wallpapers and Deco on Instagram. As a YouTuber, I have videos to show you how you can do installation yourself, so check them out on YouTube at Frida Nguku. For business or any other inquiries, kindly contact us or reach us on 0786923452, and we are going to help you build a happy place.
And welcome back to the Men's Den. My name is Likuyani Eli, and the conversation is quite heated. In case you're just joining us, we are talking and discussing about the kingdom makers, who are referred to as Bibi Mdogo, which loosely translates to the small wife. Are they small, or are they a big deal in the whole conversation? With me in studio, we have Matasio Kagwa, all the way in Utrecht in Holland. Good evening once again, sir, and welcome to the studios. And we equally have Gilbert Makomero, all the way in Oklahoma, USA. Gentlemen, before we took the break, you guys were quite on fire. And there's something I would like for us to really dissect and get into. Matasio, you mentioned that we need to know the intention as to why we're actually getting into some sort of relationships. And if it's money, then probably it's not the idea. So how will a man tell they're impotent? That's a question that came with the viewers' views in the comment section. Is it because they are not bearing children, or what exactly is it? I mean, scientifically, we can ask Gilbert to come into it, but you as an African man, what is your take? Matasio.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
The question is, how can a man say that, tell that he's impotent?
Yes.
Well, first of all, the question, tell who? That's the first question. Well, I mean, a man will tell a fellow man that he's impotent when he needs help. A man will tell a woman he's impotent when the question of kids arises. So a man can say he's impotent. But, you know, we have to learn to look at our roots. You know, the problem of impotence is not in this generation. I guess that problem was there even the days of Abraham. So there are people who have dealt with that problem from very different perspective. And it's very clear, even if we don't want to make it very global, make it very small. I mean, your family, you, Eli, your mother, your father, your brother, your uncles, your sisters, everything, they will react to you differently when you have any problem, be it sickness, be it impotent. Some will say there's no problem. They come with a solution. So these are the things we have to understand, that they are the things that really hold our cultural values. You understand? Whether a woman can never bear children, she may be a laughing stone, but in the right family, she will always get her status. Adopted children, stepchildren, that always happens. So that impotence, to be very honest, the impotence here has got nothing to do with Bibi Mdogo. Bibi Mdogo are just charlotting around, trying to jump into other kingdoms through the window, the door, the kitchen. So the impotence case, even Bibi Mdogo cannot help. Wazee wa mtaa are the ones who can help. So when a man is impotent in a Pan-African or an African setting, that can never be a big problem to the family, because marriage is the need of, you know, elongating humanity, keeping the family tree going. So whether the woman cannot bear children, the man cannot, is infertile, the family always find a way to support this family, or by adopting children, or by letting the uncle, or I mean the brother or the cousin donate some sperms. All those things are there. So we cannot even think of Bibi Mdogo coming to solve those problems. They are actually coming to create more problems.
Are you arguing that actually we shouldn't be having them in the first place?
Why?
Because these are people that have actually existed.
Yes,
see,
but
I mean, you walk into any family and Gilbert, they tell you, my father or mother, my father has been married to this and so number of wives. It is not uncommon. The question is, why do we devalue them as much as they are supposed to be adding value to that family? Gilbert. Gilbert, you muted your mic. If you can kindly, yes.
Sorry, I will say we devalue them mostly in our culture because, as I said earlier, it depends with the route you take when you want like to add another wife. If you are doing it genuinely, openly, you'll talk to your first wife, whether they accept or not. The second wife, as Kagwa said, will be brought home officially. Everything will be done. They'll have their space. Everyone will know you're a second wife, a third or fourth. But in our community now as it is, we want to remain with one wife, but maintain several others incognito. That's where the breakage comes, because here you are struggling to build a kingdom with someone who is officially known, but there are others hanging on and they are not seen. They are known to be there, but because they are not official, no one is putting a finger on them. So we are always at war, trying to fight over people who are clinging on this ship to calm down, while there are people who are making this ship to rise. So there is a tug of war here. But when things are done official, when people are introduced to, we can't say they don't exist. It's common, Ellie. It's happening. Our society, it has been there from the days of our forefathers. But what I will appreciate with the days of our forefathers, they did it openly. Everyone will know this man has 2 or 3 wives. But nowadays,
one will argue that was inconsiderate of the other wife, and it was about trying to put domain and stamp authority. Matasio, what do you think of that?
I disagree there. First of all, I think we have to make our listeners get it very clear. This word Bibi Mdogo. You see, Bibi Mdogo, the way I understood it, what we are talking about mpango wa kandos.
Not precisely, because if we go to mpango wa kandos, these are people who shouldn't be existing in the first place. We should have Bibi Mdogo because they're actually wives. But the problem is on this generation, they have camouflaged to look like mpango wa kando, and then they still want to be accorded the Bibi.
No. It's the other way around. They are not Bibi. They are just mpango wa kando, and they're trying to camouflage themselves as Bibi Mdogo. I told you very clearly. In every African culture, there is no African man who just goes there, gets babies, and one day, well, this is my second wife. These things have got protocol, as he said. Parents, first of all, why are you getting a second wife? That's the very reason. You have to answer your parents if they are there. You have to tell your brothers. You have to tell your brother-in-laws. You have to tell your father. You have to tell your own children. Why? If there is a good reason for that, there is no problem. There are cases where even there's domestic issues where the first wife goes away and then stays away 2-3 years. In between, the man has done some other things. There is a woman, the wife comes back. Yeah, this is a case where you go, okay, this something happened, because I'm talking about the choices we men and women make. You are a man. You know very well that my wife, my family, there's no reason for you to have a second wife just because you want to sleep around. That could be the only women. You just want to sleep around. It is purely sexually driven. It is not that this woman has got a problem you are helping. No, it is just your selfish need for extra as a man. That is not a reason to have a second wife. Now, and the wife knows that also. This other lady knows very well that they never go to their mother and tell them, Mom, I'm getting involved with somebody who's got children. No, They never say that I'm getting involved. They start like just mpango wa kando. The moment you give them that kafinga, kwanza hata condom ikitoboko kwa shida. So the moment you give them that, that small shida, they are waiting for any small opportunity to climb up the stairs. Because the idea is not even about being Bibi Mdogo. The idea is taking away Bibi Mkubwa. So the moment you say Bibi Mdogo, for me, it's these ones. But the moment you say Bibi Wapili, Bibi Watatu, Bibi Wanne, then you're talking about legal polygamy. But this one, baby daddy, sijui Bibi Mdogo, hizo zote ni takataka. Tusikizane ukweli.
You will be thrown stones at, and disclaimer, everything shared here is the opinion of the guest and not my own.
This
or
is mine.
For that matter.
Kama unaogopa mawe, mimi nakubali.
Gilbert, do you think hii maneno yote ni takataka?
I wouldn't want to say ni takataka because these are choices we make and we get ourselves in. By the time you're trying to take care of someone, paying their house rent, feeding them, taking them to school and everything, early, no one will force you to do that. It's a choice you'll have made. There is something that woman has made you feel. As Kago was saying, mostly it might be sexual. Mostly, as he said, it's sexually driven. Nothing. You just want to, for your own selfish interest, because I believe it's for the family's interest. You'll sit your family down and try to share with them and make them understand why you need a second will, or else first will is just enough. And the way early we are made, when growing up, we attach to one line. You cannot divide attention. That's the hardest thing you can do in terms of affectionate. Affectionate is directed in one direction. When it shifts to the other side, it diminishes on this other side. Because our brain, the way it's formed, they are receptors that feel. Huwezi pata ziko huku na huku, zimewekwa one side. So when you want to divide your brain that will concentrate hapa na hapa, what happens? You confuse them. So you end up being confused. Or what happens most probably, you will shift attention to the other side and leave this other side. Or have this, but your attention is here. Your body is here, but your attention is on the other side. Now that's where the kingdom starts rocking. Because it's either it breaks or it improves. But most probably, two women cannot coexist in one room with equal attention. They will fight, or you'll have to choose between them, or one will withdraw. That is a common rule.
Wow. Common rule according to Dr. Gilbert. To the comment section, Nanjakita says, our guests do not have good arguments. Men, women better listen and learn. Hashtag #Atinha. Thank you so much for joining. We have guest jina yako ni ngumu. You're welcome to join the men's day. Napenda the way you're open. Tende nalo. The name is as simple as it is. Matasio Kagwa. Not as difficult as... and yes, James... Finally, anawaona. Thank you, James, for watching and being supportive of what is happening tonight. We welcome you to the men's den tonight via this satellite. We have Wycliffe Gaddafi, who says, second wife is mainly for domestic issues like for inheritance. For instance, when you don't get the attention you deserve from your first wife. Ooh. And that, I know there are other questions and comments that are coming, but I would really love for us to address these. Why are we reducing these wives to simply attention givers or pleasure points, if I can call them, and not pressure points? Matasio.
You see, I told you of this thing of being brainwashed. I told you brainwashing is first of all what makes us take the wrong train. That's why I was even trying to clarify it clearly. You know, when we talk, you see, we have listeners there. First of all, we try to normalize what is not normal.
And what is this that is not normal?
I'm just going to explain. In a lot of African cultures, polygamy is very normal, very normalized. You understand? In the same culture, we do not have single mothers. If you follow traditionally, if they exist, they have a different name. You understand? I'll give you a very example, Maluya. We go like, if you have a child somewhere and this child is a man, if that woman is not even with you, even if she will never have any inheritance, even if she will never have a piece of land, the fact that your son is a man, she will bring the mother home. You understand?
Whoa.
So that means I can leave my first wife. I can make some woman pregnant. We have a son. I have nothing to do with her. She goes, she does her things. She can sit here, we talk, we have fun, but we don't have any intimacy. You understand? Yeah. If I come home, I've built my son Simba. He has his house on my land. Says, Mama is coming to stay with me. I cannot even raise my finger. Before even come, my fathers, my uncles have already welcomed her. If she don't have a bed, they have bought her a bed. That one is a polygamous kingdom. This one, she was there, she bare children. She's just coming there to take care of what she brought up. So I may look like I'm a man with two wives, because actually, you see now, they force you to pay alimentation, they call it in Holland. They force you to pay benefit. Nobody was forcing anybody to pay benefit. They tell you have a child, this piece of land, that's why when you die, they're coming there. I don't want to gossip. We saw the other story of our hero yesterday, small kids being refused to go and bury the father. Why do you think we have those things? Because in the traditional way, no child would be refused to bury the father. But now we have taken that old system where we know that these are our children going to Nairobi, living this fake life, calling ourselves baby daddy and everything. No. Those are when I say we are mixing two things. Because in such a case, there is no way you can reach to a point where there is a funeral and you people cannot talk. What kingdom were you building?
Gilbert, what kingdom should we be building then?
Because, you, your wife, and your children.
Gilbert, what do you think about this? What kingdom should we be building in the first place? Because apparently we are not building lasting kingdoms.
I think we should be building kingdoms that we are answerable to, kingdoms we can take care of, kingdoms we know, kingdoms that know us, and kingdoms we can control. If you can't take care of, if you don't know, if you're not aware of, and if you can't control, then you are not building anything. Or if you are building a kingdom, yes, it's a kingdom, but on a sand. When rain comes, it will be washed down. That's the problem. So if you want to build it strong, be accountable. You remember last week's topic? If you're not responsible, don't indulge. Don't go there. You have a wife here. I heard someone says here, one of our viewers in the comments saying that they are like our fallback. When the first wife can't do this, we fall back to them to take care of what the first wife never did. Kagwe said clearly, is out of our selfish interests. Solve your issues rather than looking for a solution outside. We can square out. And one thing that has made us Africans lag behind is our mechanism to resolve our issues. We always want to antagonize and look for an option. Instead of saying, I'm in and I'm in, we must get to a solution in this problem. So we bounce out. And when you bounce out, you always find those people who are welcoming, who are like, I have a shoulder here to lean on. Before you realize, not just a shoulder, it's everything. You are leaning on everything. Before you realize, you are somewhere you never wanted to be. before you realize there's a result, which are kids. They need to be taken care of. You will not take care of those kids without their mother. So in the long run, you are taking care of their mothers. As Kago has said, when an eventuality happens, they are your family whether you like it or not. Because you dug the grave, be ready to be buried in it. So let's take care of the kingdoms we are building. First of all, what is it that we want? We desire to have a better kingdom early. But these bodies of ours lead us to have kingdoms we never wanted.
Mute. Unmute.
I don't know what is happening here tonight, but there must be an interesting thing happening that I actually keep forgetting my microphone. But
you get that.
But you would love to add something on this before we just take it a little bit higher.
Yes, he mentioned something about our selfishness. I go back to the title of your topic, and then I will chongoa you kidogo, you know, because the way this topic comes, it is like men have nothing to do with it. It is just Bibi Mdogo coming in this kingdom. It is just us saying they are not needed. No. You see, first of all, to talk of a kingdom as men, we know our roles are very simple. Protect and provide.
And procreate.
Yeah. That, if you focus on procreating, is when you start to follow that thing. Just say protect and provide. Now, you see, we are not like that. So for us, for a man, it's very simple to say, you know what? Instead of disappointing this person, let me just accept her as whatever it can be. Mpango wa kando, bibi mdogo, bibi wa pili, kwa sababu pia na umeshikwa kwa shingo. Because you have shared something with this woman. A man as we are, you go like, there's no problem. If kama shida yake ni rent, nitalipa. Kama shida yake ni kusomesha, nitasomesha. So the moment you agree to do what naturally is in your DNA, to protect and whatever, now you cannot deny that. It's just the same way you cannot take a woman with a child. They say, yeah, tupa mtoto kuja peke yako. You see that in this marriage, you see, like when a woman goes with children somewhere, the man is very easy to take care of them easily. But when a man brings a child from another woman, stepmothers are much more nightmares than stepfathers. That we know. True or false?
Wow.
That we know.
Did you just label them?
No, it's not
because
labeling.
We have a lot of stepmothers that are doing actually a very good job.
No, when you hear a problem, you see, the thing is this, let's forget about labeling. Let's not, you know, when we talk about reality, we talk about percentages. You know, we're talking about figures. We know very well, like, if you ask me how many stepfathers have wameumiza watoto, how many stepfathers have been a pain in the ass to children, and how many stepmothers have been a pain to us to the children. Of course, mothers tend to stay more with the children. Even you have a child from out, you bring home, you leave her with your mother, with the wife. So that also creates a lot of tension. What I wanted to add on him, it is like this. We are talking like men are very innocent. They are just these guys there who have kingdoms, and they just have these keys, and some women just go through the window and come to break and build the kingdom. No. You as a man, you have to know what kind of kingdom am I building. You can choose to build a kingdom without a queen and just have your children and have some casual princesses running around. That's your concept of a kingdom. Because the moment a man defines his kingdom clearly, it will never have an intruder. If you define your kingdom to your woman, this kingdom is a monogamous kingdom, hutakuwa na shida bibi mdogo. Lakini
I'm having a hard trouble. I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding the rationale behind this. Are you telling us that these women that actually get married are a problem?
No. I think you did not understand what Gilbert mentioned. He said the choices we make, it's not about these women. The choices some of people make give them identity. So if you know very well that this man is married, and you make the choice of going with him without being clear, am I part of the kingdom or am I out of the kingdom? That's a choice you make.
Great. That is a very good point. Let's start here with James, who says, depends on the context we look at this from. If you're looking at it from a cultural perspective, wives even married second, third wives for their husbands for various reasons. And it was allowed. So, but would that apply in today's culture? Because as we know, with time, culture evolves. So is this debatable? Gilbert, you want to say something? Because I see we have a contributor that would love to actually put the female perspective into this. So Gilbert, and then let's invite the contributor.
What I'll say, early our society is undergoing metamorphosis, change, time in, time out, because of the Western world. The culture is coming in strong. We discussed earlier, and I said, with the coming of social media, now we are able to get to learn what we were not able to see. We are able to hear what we are unable to hear because we didn't have the platform and channels to. But now, as Kagwe said, Africans, we are in this behavior of copy pasting everything we get for us to look cool. And some of us is forced down our throat, only to comply so that some certain things are met. And that is the problem of poverty. When you're poor, you don't have a choice in this life. You accept anything you're given, whether you are told or you know it's beneficial on you, because it comes with prescribed conditions. So these conditions, like Kagwe said, the choices we make, you decide to come into someone's marriage knowing you're a second wife. You decide to take someone as a second wife knowing you have a first wife. It is a choice. I've never seen anywhere where someone was forced. Even if you go to court, they will ask you, when you're marrying, they ask you, do you accept to take? They don't tell you, are you taking him? No. Do you? They want you to own the process. Do you accept to take so-and-so as legally married wife? These words are very clear when they say, don't just think they say them, because when you are defining them in law, you know they have a meaning. So we decide to engage in these things early as a society. But now my issue was not when you are deciding or not. My issue is the current society. We are living in denial. We want to appear that we are perfect. Mimi niko tu na bibi moja, mimi ni mkamilifu. But huku kando, what you are doing, oh God. And most of these things, as Kagwe say, they will not be known. Some of them, you wait until a calamity appears. You wait until that man dies. And then you find like 10 people appearing with kids and you're like, oh God, we thought this man was the holiest man we knew around. So the boat has been rocked. Whether you build a solid kingdom or whichever kingdom, there will be war in that kingdom. Take an example of serious families we've seen in Kenya, where a few people, however much you build that kingdom and you prescribed it, when you were not there early, these people will fight in that kingdom until that kingdom will break down. I don't want to mention names, but we have seen and heard them.
We have seen and heard of them. That's true, Gilbert.
And eventually those kingdoms, not even one of them make it to light in 2, 3, 4 years.
Well, I will rest you gentlemen for a minute or two so that I can have my guest who is behind backstage to actually help us gentlemen understand this from the ladies' perspective, or rather the woman's side. Zena Hussein, if you can hear me, welcome to the show.
Mambo.
Wazima sana.
Naona leo mmedamshi kweli. Naona leo mmedamshi kweli, alafu mwatuingilia sisi wanawake, sisi wanawake ndio wenye makosa. Na nyinyi kwanza ndio wenye makosa, kwanza mwanzo mwisho, yani nyinyi ndio wenye kutafuta makosa mwanzo. Unaona? Mwenda tafuta. Yes. Ikia mwenda tafutana kule, alafu tena baadaye mnakuja hapa, amefanya hivi, amefanya vile. Na nyinyi wenyewe ndio mmeenda kutafuta mambo yote. Kwanza ni mkosoe mjomba. Mjomba umesema nini? Umesema nini? Eti bibi mdogo sijui ni nini na ni mchepuko. Kuna tofauti ya mke na bibi mdogo sijui na nini hizo. Kwanza niseme hivi. Neno bibi ni nyanya. Kinyanya. Haya, pili, ukienda kutafuta mchepuko huko nje, mchepuko uache mchepuko huko nje. Ukizaa na mwanamke huko nje, huyo mwanamke alikuwa ni mchepuko wako, sio mke wako. Kuna tofauti ya mke na mchepuko. Kuna mke wa pili na mchepuko. Yule mwanamke ambaye kwamba umemuoa ukamuingiza nyumbani kwako, anajulikana kwenu, anajulikana mpaka na mke mkubwa, huyo ni mke. Wala sio sijui eti bibi sijui nini sijui bibi what and whatever. Let's call a spade, not a small spoon. Unaona?
Exactly.
Yeah. Unajua?
So, then I would like to ask you this.
Namuuliza.
I would like to ask you this because we are talking about michepuko na mambo kama hayo. But my understanding of this whole discussion is, why are we making these women that have actually accepted to be wives look like hao ndio wanaharibu jamii?
Na unaona, huwezi ukasema ati wale wanaharibu jamii. Hapana. Huwezi enda dukani ukaenda kutafuta maziwa ukaja nayo nyumbani ukayanywa, kisha baadaye ukianza kuharisha uanze kusema nini? Eti ni yale maziwa ni mwenye duka anafanya nini? Amefanya ukaharisha, wakati ambapo kwamba mwenyewe umeenda pale dukani ukaitisha maziwa. Unaona? Lazima kila mtu abebe his or her responsibilities. Kitu cha kwanza, mwanamume ukitaka kuoa lazima mkalishe mke mkubwa chini. Mkalishe mke mkubwa chini, ongea naye, toa sababu zinazofanya nini unataka kuoa. Na kama ilivyo kawaida, wanaume huwa hamsemi, huwa hamtoi sababu, huwa mkoza hapa hamuongei.
So why should we then give reasons today if we have not done it in the past?
Sijakuelewa ati what in the past?
Mbona leo tukae chini tumwambie mke wako amwambie mama watoto ningependa kuoa leo kwa sababu ya hivi na hivi, na kutangia pale zamani hatujapeana visababu. Mbona tuanze leo?
Kuna visababu ambavyo unajua, ukiishi na mtu kwa nyumba unataka kufanya kitu. Let me give you an example. Unajua huwezi enda kuchukua loan bank kabla hujafanya nini, hujaketi na mke wako mkaelewana. Mwisho wa siku ikifika time ya kuja kudaiwa ile loan, pengine umeshindwa kulipa, ndio utaanza my wife, unajua kuko hivi na hivi na hivi, nilikuwa nataka ile leso lako tuuze, tufanye hivi na hivi na hivi. Unaona? Sasa ni vizuri ukitaka kuongeza mke wa pili, mkalishe mke wako chini, ongea na mke wako, mueleze nataka kuoa kwa sababu hii na hii na hii na hii. Mke mkubwa hawezi kuzuia kuoa. Juu unajua nini? Wewe ni mwanaume, ukitaka kuongeza utaongeza tu. Hata akisema no na umejisikia kuongeza utaongeza. Unaona? Lakini sasa problem inakujaga pale. Umeenda umetafuta mwanamke huko nje, umeoa, wazazi wako hawajui, ndugu zako hawajui, mke wako hajui, wanao hawajui, hakuna anayejua kinachoendelea pale. Then at the end of the day unapata mwanamke anapiga miguu, mpa. I'm here, this is my husband, what and what. How? Hujasema pale nyumbani una mke mwingine, lazima ufanye introduction. Hata kama utamwambia mke mkubwa, ama labda umemwambia mke mkubwa akakataa, basi hatujakataa. Kitu cha pili pia, intakana kwanza wanawake, kabla hatujalalamika eti sijui ati mume wangu ameongeza mke fulani amefanya nini, lazima tuangalie ni nini, ni kitu gani ambacho kwamba kimefanya nini yule mwanamume akaenda kufanya nini, kuongeza mwanamke mwingine, yule mwanamume akaenda kutafuta nje. Kitu cha kwanza, wanawake huwa tuna mapungufu yetu wakati mwingine. Nianze kwa upande wa kuzaa. Unajua mwanamke akishaolewa, kuna wengine wanajiachilia tu, bora nishapata mume nini. Umesahau yule mwanamume pengine alipenda ule urembo wako. Yule mwanamume alipenda unavyochana zile nywele. Sasa umefika pale nyumbani, kwa vile umeolewa, unaanza tu kusema mi bora nimeolewa, sina shida, nina mume, sina nini. Yule mwanamume anavotoka pale ndani asubuhi, amekuacha pale ndani umechakarika, akitoka akienda kule nje anamwona jirani ameng'ara, amedamshi ile sawa. Unaona wewe uko huku ndani, unafika mala unajifungua, umezaa, unaachilia manyonyo yanakapakala hivyo, utaki kuvaa sindiria, maziwa yanatiririka kila wakati, anamka pale kila wakati, hutaki kuoga kwako ni mara moja kwa siku, ama labda siku mbili ama tatu ndio unafanya nini, unaoga. Mwanaume hataki hivyo.
Hebu Zena kidogo nikusitize kwa sababu ya wakati, na niwajumuishe hawa wanaume ambao wamekuwa wakikusikiza. Gentlemen, I know for the interest of those that are equally watching in English and they cannot understand what Zena is saying, she's mentioned quite interesting points, including women not taking care of themselves and giving men possible reasons to go out and look for extra marital affairs. Does this also go down to our selfishness as men, or is it just human nature and we should live with it? Let's say start with Matasio. Now we have 3 minutes, so let's make it fast. 2 minutes actually.
Question again. I was wanting to answer something to her. I'll go straight. I think I can only react to one very simple point she said. Mke akishaolewa. The moment we get married, it's not even being lazy or whatever. There is a very strange tone that comes out. Just talk about talking. When people are still quoting sweetheart, babe. You get married, you're not being called babe anymore. You get married, after chakula unajichukulia kwa fridge. First of all, our black men are not romantic. You sit there watching television, you see white people coming in the house. Honey, how was your day? Unasema we are not romantic. Wewe tukachukulia chakula huko. The same way hauogi tena. Matiti unaziachilia vile vile. Kuongea unaongea ni kama makanga. Mwanamume ataenda. Dada, nasema uongo ukweli. She's muted.
It's okay. She has got you. We really have 1 minute, so we must finish this discussion.
I'm done.
Gilbert, your closing remarks, Gilbert. Your microphone, please.
My closing remark will be like, what we've discussed, it rotates about choices we make, Ellie. As they have said, if you decide to take this route, Ellie, be ready to take care of the consequences that will come with it. If you want to build a kingdom, I say daily and I repeat, 2 women cannot exist in one kingdom, not unless the other is the queen and the other one is the servant.
Who is willing to be the servant and who is willing to be the queen? That is the question we finish with tonight. And Zena, I know you had quite interesting points to mention, but unfortunately, the men's den always have limited time, but we will bring you next time to add on those remarks. Thank you for coming, Zena. Gentlemen, as we close tonight, we can agree on one thing. We are not yet done with this discussion. Next week, we take it on as we finish up on why actually we need to change and make sure that if this other person is in the kingdom, how then does the power sharing game comes into play? Let's catch up next week on the Men's Den on Tuesday, and tomorrow night, catch me way Nyokabijike Kamau, and of course, probably Noreen Ambata as we tackle My Money Is Not Our Money. See you tomorrow night on the Relationship Edition. My name is Likuyani Eli, and my guest was Matasio Kagwa, all the way in Utrecht, Holland, and we have Gilbert all the way in Oklahoma. Next week will be, of course, with James Mwati. See you next week. Again, have a great night. Ciao, ciao. Good night.